Hey, this is Rocky Mountain Edibles. You know, one of the things I love about the outdoors the most is being able to have a rich experience. Whether it be enjoying the wild edibles out in the field or back at home, it really is an incredible thing to enjoy nature's bounty. So anyway, I was down in Arizona recently and I collected 3 different species of plants that figured prominently in Native American diet and early settler diet in the Southwest. Specifically, I harvested agave, spring parsley, and wild hyacinth. So I'm going to show you how to go about preparing these roots as a food source and also how to use them as a specific ingredient in a meal. So anyway, let's take a closer look. Although Native Americans would have roasted the agave hearts in a fire pit, I don't have that luxury from this trip because of the wind and the fire danger, so instead I'm going to actually prepare these here at home. So with these agave hearts, I'll actually share with you exactly how I go about baking these in the oven. If you are preparing agave hearts at home, you want to wrap them in aluminum foil and then put them in the oven at 300 to 350 degrees and cook them for most of the day. So I put the agave in the oven to bake a number of hours ago, and I'm going to take a look and see if it's ready to come out of the oven. These are going to be really hot for a period of time, so I'm going to let them cool down just a little bit. I have the roots here of 2 different plants. So I have wild hyacinth, also known as blue dicks here, and I also have a type of spring parsley, both of which I actually harvested down in Arizona. Anyway, both of these roots have a thin skin on them that is very easy to remove. I need to remove this skin because it's very fibrous. It also has a bitter texture to it. So the next thing I want to do is wash these, and I actually already washed off all the grit and dirt from the roots of both the spring parsley and the wild hyacinth. For the wild hyacinth, the flower stems and leaves are still attached, so I'm going to go ahead and just remove those. That part of the plant is edible, but for this recipe I'm not actually going to use it. So I have taken the bulbs of the wild hyacinth and I've put it in the pot to boil. I'm going to boil those for a few minutes. Just to convert some of the complex sugars into a more digestible form. What we're trying to go for here today is something kind of similar to twice-baked potato. That's what I will call twice-baked wild hyacinth. So I have the spring parsley here. It's actually purple nerve spring parsley, or Smopterus multinervatus. And you can see some of these roots are very substantial. Remember, this is a plant that is related to the carrot, but it does not taste like a carrot. We're going to treat it in a way that's similar to how we would cook biscuit root. There. I'm going to actually put this on a cookie sheet, these roots on a cookie sheet, and I'm going to be using a little bit of rendered bear fat from a bear my brother recently killed. This will give it a nice crunchy kind of experience. It's really good this way. I have applied the rendered bear fat to the spring parsley. If you don't have rendered bear fat, which I would assume most people do not, you certainly can use butter for this. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the agave hearts here to see how they turned out. I'm excited to try this. So these agave hearts were cooked to perfection. I'm going to take a spoon now and kind of spoon out the very soft, pulpy, sweet interior. And that's what you're going to eat. I've pulled out a lot of the sweet inner pulp of the agave hearts. There's some of these pieces that are left that still have some little bits of this really delicious food in them. So I like to use these as appetizers. This is actually from the base of some of the agave leaves. That's really, really good. Very sweet. This is from what would turn into be the flower stem. And I like to call these nature's gooey popsicles. Oh man. That is amazing. I don't even know how to really describe that. Very sweet, like I described about some of the other parts of the pulp, but it is just so soft and moist. And really, honestly, any words that I have really are inadequate to describe the unusual flavor of this. It's really incredible. The wild hyacinth bulbs have finished boiling. I'm going to drain off the water real quick. I've just mashed the wild hyacinth. I'm actually going to form them into a little patty now and mix it in with some bear fat. And then I'm going to put it in the oven and bake it for a little while. I usually enjoy eating these plants and just appreciating them for their natural flavors, independent of any spices. However, this time I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit of salt and also a little bit of ground sage as well. And I'm going to pop both the spring parsley and the wild hyacinth in the oven and bake it at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. So, a feast is served. I actually cooked up some of the backstrap from an elk that I killed a couple years ago, and I am having this as part of the meal. So once again, I have elk backstrap, I have wild hyacinth, I have spring parsley, and I have agave heart. So I'm going to dig in here. The wild hyacinth, I kind of did it as a twice baked approach. It's kind of somewhat similar to hash browns, or what you would expect from hash browns. It's not the same flavor, but the texture and consistency is kind of similar to hash browns. In the Somopteris genus, there's a number of spring parsleys, a number of species of spring parsley. I love them all so much, they taste so good. I really wrestle between enjoying them more fresh or baked or cooked in some way. This is so good. I'm gonna grab some of this agave heart here. There's a number of groups in the Southwest that still use agave hearts as an important food source. And you can definitely see why when you try it for yourself. You gotta get another bite of that wild hyacinth. Man. It's a feast fit for a king. Or at least a naturalist.